We got to move on. 10:01. We're going to close it out with Jason Solis. He's got a great little segment here. Jay?
Yeah, so Dan Bartlett is joining us right now. Moving on, and Dan, good to have you on the show, my friend. And we happily close out with you. Sorry you got to follow that, bro. But it is a very much more uplifting way to head us into our island weekend. Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Bartlett is joining us. He is a member of the amazing organization End of the Road. And Dan, maybe just give us some context and explain how you are actually using your ability to travel and basically go all over the world and share the island love, the island flavor, and the island vibe with other people and other cultures.
Yeah, well, thank you for having me. So I'm one of four riders, and End of All Roads is the name of our group. And we've been in Guam for a number of years, 11, 15, and 22 years. So Guam's kind of our adoptive home. So we've been taking the Guam flag around the world. Right now, we've done 16 countries, 33,000 miles. I can't tell you how many countless conversations we've had explaining where Guam is, all things Guam. We got Guam license plates. It's amazing the things that we have that are Guam on our bikes, that just the conversation starters. And just, Guam is a place that we love, and that's easy for us to tell people how much we love it as we go around the world. And we're, just, like I said, a group of four guys that had a dream of cruising around the world. When we first got out to Guam, we all work for United Airlines, and we're all pilots for United Airlines. And so we have the ability to travel, and we group our work together in a chunk of time, and then we get chunks of time off. So what we do is we'll ride for a month, and then we'll go to work for a month. We do this month on, month off. So before we started the End of All Roads tour, we were exploring a lot of Southeast Asia. We rode through Laos and Cambodia. And that just kind of spawned the idea of, man, we've been going through all these countries. Let's go around the world. Let's go all the way around. And so we came up with a route that was 82 countries. We thought it'd be a 2-year deal, and we are now 3 years into it, and we got about 2 years to go. So like all plans, it hasn't exactly gone to plan, but we're not in a hurry. We're not trying to see how many countries we can go to or how many miles we can do. It's just about seeing the world, really, and just we're all curious. We have curiosity about the world, and we're just doing our best to see as much of it as we can.
Well, let me ask you, Dan, because I mean, the one thing that's so wonderful about, flags of any nation, I mean, they tell such a rich story. And, I have yet to see a flag that doesn't capture, this rich tapestry of, like the history and the culture and the language and the people of any place. So, and I looked at your Facebook page. It's amazing. And, you've gone all over South America, Latin America, proudly flying, our colors. And we're so appreciative of that. So when you bring the Guam flag into other nations and everything like that, and you make friends and you connect with other people, what questions do they ask about, some of the symbology and, like the way the Guam flag looks and the story it tells?
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, first of all, some of the comments I've had about Guam, I mean, where in Africa is that? Like, well, not in Africa. So firstly, you just open a map, and here's Guam, and then explaining our proximity to all the places that we're near. And the size of the island, people seem to always freak out on the size, and they seem to think it's overwhelmingly small. And how do you live in such a small place? I've heard that comment several times, like, with a smile on my face, because like everywhere, it doesn't matter if you live in the middle of downtown Manhattan or Chicago. Like most people, we are routine creatures. And if you draw a 5-mile circle around most people's houses, no matter where you live on the planet, that's typically where you spend a majority of your time. And Guam is no different than that. And so I find myself explaining that it's typically just a mindset, not to mention that I've been here for 11 years. And I feel like I've done my share and always trying to explore Guam. And there's still places that I have friends say, hey, we went to, they'll name a place or a hike or somewhere. And I'm like, I've never been there. And so 11 years into my stay in Guam, I'm still exploring and still finding new things. So, there's just so much Guam has to offer. And I just, I love it. I came out here thinking I was going to be here for 1 year, and 11 years later, I'm still here and with no plans on ever leaving. So it's easy for us, all of us, to explain the place that we live and that we love to people, and educate all things Guam.
And we're so happy to have you a part of our Guam family and everything. I mean, if you've been here 11 years, I mean, you're as Guamanian as they come. So like we appreciate you having a part of our community. I must ask you, Dan, and I hope you don't mind. I've been trying to place your accent since we've been doing this interview. Where do you hail from originally?
Well, I was born in Dallas, Texas, but I spent then as a teenager I moved to Kansas City, Missouri. So got a Texan root, but a Midwestern background.
Oh, okay, so I got to ask. The Chiefs have been really good lately. Are you rolling with the Chiefs, especially given their World Championship last year, or are you like Dallas Cowboys fan till you die?
I'm definitely a Chiefs fan all the way. I grew up on the Cowboys, but in my more formative years, I definitely migrated towards the Chiefs, and I can almost reach my Chiefs hat from here. I'd have to get up to do it. But I definitely have my Chiefs gear, and Mahomes is electric, and the Chiefs have been so fun to watch. And Kansas City is a great sports town, not just the Chiefs, but the Royals too. And these last couple of seasons with the Chiefs have been so fun to watch.
Okay, well, yeah, I mean, continue to fly the Guam flag. I mean, if you want to wear the Travis Kelce, jersey next time you go through, Bolivia or Belize, wherever you go, I mean, we're just happy to do that. Okay, now let me ask again, because now that I know you're from Kansas City as well, and you've been on Guam long enough, who's got the best barbecue between a traditional Guam? Yeah, I'm going hard here. The traditional Guam Fiesta or Kansas City Baby Back?
Oh man, there's a loaded question. Boy, if I pick one, the other's going to be wrong. So I'll just tell you that they both have their attributes, and they're both awesome. It's hard to pick a favorite because I've got my favorites in both of them.
Smart answer. Oh, it's good. But hey, it's been great talking to you. And where can people find you on Facebook? Because I mean, I've been through your Facebook gallery. There's amazing pictures. Again, your travels are so impressive and everything like that. You have a positive message, and it's something that everybody needs to check out. So how can people find you on social media?
Mostly on Facebook. We have a page called End of All Roads with got a picture of our logos, a couple wings, and then a picture of the globe. So we're better about updating our Facebook page, although we do have a YouTube channel and a website, endofallroads.com, but I kind of need to update that. But if you really want to follow along more of the play-by-play, Facebook is the best place to do it.
Excellent.
And Instagram.
Okay, and then last question, where are your travels going to take you next?
Well, right when COVID was hitting, we were at the tippy tip of South America in Ushuaia, Argentina. That was the first time I ever heard the word. At that time, nobody really heard of COVID. It was coronavirus. And the first time I heard coronavirus, we were coming out of Patagonia in literally the tippy tip of South America, the end of the road, the very last road that you can drive to. And so we had shipped our bikes to Europe in March, and then our bikes have been sitting in a warehouse in Poland for the past 6-7 months. And we just shipped them back last month to New York, and I rode it, to the Midwest. Just to store it because there's still kind of at that time no end in sight with COVID. Thankfully now there is a little light at the end of the tunnel. So our next travels are going to be in Europe, and we're going to zigzag our way across Europe. Our ultimate goal is to get all the way to New Zealand. So we're going to start in Portugal, zigzag across Europe, North Africa, go across the Middle East, parts of Russia, China, and then come down through the Himalayas, and then dot our way across Indonesia, Australia, and finish in New Zealand.
Oh man, if you ever take any pictures in Auckland and everything like that, do me a favor for us here at KUM. Get the Guam flag and hang it near that place where they filmed Lord of the Rings down in Auckland and everything like that. That'd be the ultimate, man.
You can count on it. That's our ending point, actually. Auckland is that's the end of our road. We're ending in Auckland. So I would be absolutely, you can count on that.
All right. Well, that is the end of the interview and end of the road. Make sure to check them out on Facebook. Guys are doing really good things, and they're representing our island, our people, and our culture well. So Dan, thank you, my friend. And we wish you and your family the very happiest of holidays from all of us here at KUM. Have a great weekend.
Thank you. Same to you. Thank you for having me.
All right, and that's going to do it for our show, everybody. We are out of time, but we wish you and your family, of course, the very best. Please stay safe and stay healthy, and make sure to check us out on KUAM News throughout the weekend if anything comes up. We'll see you on Monday. I'm Jason Salas. Take care.